night. So we are just going to get set up here with David and Casey, who are just chatting for a brief moment. And you can see all these trophies, I'll call them, around Casey's little workroom here of all these different athletes he's worked with. So you're at about 8,700 so far on Facebook or on Instagram. So we'll give it about another 40 seconds or so, and then we'll get going. I know you all have very little time for this kind of stuff. For those of you who are here, this is strictly for you. We're going to spend the next 45 to an hour. If people start dropping off too much, I'll just cancel it. I'm not going to be here for a couple people doing this kind of shit. But basically, this is for you. So have pen and paper down. We have literally notes and notes of questions that people left us. So we will be going through these questions and also questions that you all have. We're going to start off with the deloading. So many of you know that basically my knees were pretty messed up and I had to stop running for a while. So how I started training is Casey here. I didn't know anything about deloading, and I mean, yeah, I knew you could do a versa climber or an elliptical trainer, but I want to shut up right now. Casey, can you explain to them exactly what we're doing?
Yeah, so we are going to set up a little blood flow restriction here. I'm using the smart cuffs because I really like their diameter and everything for the leg. And we've already found his occlusion pressure. So
what the fuck is occlusion pressure? I was just going to say, what does that mean?
These motherfuckers are like me. So we find his limb occlusion pressure where the pressure occludes the artery flow, and then we back it off about 80% for his training load there. And yeah, so with BFR, the reason we do it on a deloading day is to help David be able to train at a sub-maximal threshold, but still get benefits of hypertrophy. So when he has been injured and you can't load is heavy, you start losing muscle strength, you start atrophying. So this is a way where we can mitigate muscle loss and continue to have hypertrophy and get good work in while not losing.
It's a good look.
That strength.
Yeah, I know, right? They're going to be clowning me about my damn shorts now.
So we're just going to start. We're going to do a little aerobic work, a few minutes on the treadmill, and this is going to be modified to what we normally do. But normally we will spend. We'll spend 5 to 10 to 15 minutes continuously on aerobic work with the cuffs on. We may do the Versa Climber, the bike and treadmill, or a combination of all of them. And then from there, we'll give the body a break and we'll put them back on and do some strength training. But what's great about the BFR for a guy like David is when you don't want to load the joints to extreme measures all the time, you can still get good work and, again, good hypertrophy back to the muscle. So it's something that's been new to him, and it's been super effective because, you know, a little backstory, when David came in a few months ago, he called me and he says, hey, my leg's messed up, like, is there anything you can do for my knee? And I said, well, you know, what's going on with it? And he's like, it's about 2 sizes, bigger than my other side. And I said, well, when's the last time you took a day off? And he's like, I haven't.
He doesn't do that sort of thing.
He hasn't taken a day off. So anyways, he got up to Montana and his knee was literally 2 or 3 knees compared to his right side. So right away we drained off 80 cc's of his knee.
I'm going to show David just kind of.
And We waited a week. We tried to do range of motion. His knee literally wouldn't flex more than 10 or 15 degrees. And this was his left side at the time. And then from there, the following week, we actually drained 40 more cc's from the back. Then we finally started getting some range of motion in the knee. We had a couple MRIs on the knees because then I went to his right side and his right knee didn't move, but little to him, he said his knee was fine. He said his right knee was his good knee.
What's wrong with you, David?
Hey man, the motherfucker didn't hurt worse than my left one, so it was fine for me.
Yeah, so that was funny because he's like, yeah, my right knee's fine. And I start moving his knee and I was like, are you sure this is fine? And he's like, yeah, it's 100%. So we get a couple MRIs done on the knees and they are destroyed. I mean, I think my dad, who's 72, has better looking knees than David's do. But I mean, a lot of cartilage damage, bone on bone, meniscal tears, ligament damage. I mean, there's a lot to deal with. So coming up with a game plan for David was, very thought-provoking because I wanted to, safely and effectively bring him back into kind of performance mindset because his, was so broken down, and getting him to, buy into that is also a challenge in itself. So the first thing we did is, took a look at his body, his structure, his gait, how his body's moving, and we uncovered a few interesting things. So, which, as we answer these questions, a lot of that's going to tie into what you guys are going to be asking about. A lot of the questions we've seen on overuse injuries, the stress fractures or the peroneal tendonitis or plantar fasciitis or hip pain, back pain, all that stuff is also manifested in what we saw in David. So we'll translate through that as questions come in, and I can demonstrate on him or we'll just rapid fire. But definitely want to show you guys this as far as what he's specifically doing on deloading.
I have to say one thing about the blood pressure cuffs, the BFR.
Yeah.
The BFR is that this has totally changed my training big time. So right now, while you only see me walking, this is a demonstration for you all. And I know you're probably thinking, it's like a tourniquet. It's not a tourniquet. As you know, it's a blood pressure cuff. It's very tight. But this literally will get my max heart rate up within a couple of seconds. If I get on the Versa Climber with these on, my heart rate gets shot up real quick. And I'm a 100-mile-a-week runner usually. I can't do that now. So what these are doing for me right now, this allows me to still get the same aerobic output as 100-mile weeks. I'm putting in about I'm at 50 right now. So with this stuff here, it probably jumps me up to about 80 miles a week, even though I'm not running 80 miles a week.
I'm going to start just taking some questions, if that's okay, because we have so many coming in. So, guys, thanks for everything that was submitted last night and today. I'm going to try to just read some of these questions at the same time as keeping the camera on David and Casey. So I'm going to take it to them. So bear with me. But all right, so I'm going to just alternate whoever, David or Casey, is the best person to answer the question. How do you find the balance between overtraining and not training enough? When I train for long periods of time, my performance goes to shit. Maybe I just need to push harder through the governor, or maybe it's a matter of doing less. This is from RJ Youngling. So I don't know. David and overtraining, he may have one answer in case he may have something else.
This would be like
the yin and yang.
Yin and yang. So for me, the first thing I do is I have to go through my process. And my process is very different than most. But it's about risk reward. That's the first thing you gotta say. So when you're overtraining, like there's different kind of overtrainings. If it's like your knee's messed up, your knee's as big as mine was, or is it like your body's just telling you you're overtrained? For injuries to the body, it's risk reward. If you're training for a marathon, is there another marathon you can get into that can allow your body to rest? For me, when I was trying to go through Navy SEAL training, I only had a period of time and I couldn't take that risk reward. It was all about reward. So my risk was I knew there was a good chance I was going to break myself off. I knew stress fractures. I knew shin splints. I knew all that. That being said, I took the challenge and I did it. But to answer your question 100%, this is what it comes back to is your heart rate monitor. You got to learn to heart rate train. The purest way to me